Why? It never changes. Soldiers die side by side, killing as many possible. Burning bodies everywhere. Horrific wounds are a common theme. Trauma is all around us. Sounds fun, let's play. PTSD wasn't considered a disease until 1980. Before that, the disease had several different names. During World War I, it was mostly called shell shock. However, instead of treating it as a disease, it was seen as soldiers being cowards and weak. It was thought to be caused by the impact of the shells hitting the ground around you. The bullet shells was thought to cause a disruption in the brain and cause the so-called shell shock. However, the fact that most soldiers suffered similar symptoms, even though they hadn't been exposed to the impact of shells. These symptoms were believed to include, and I quote, loss of memory, insomnia, terrifying dreams, pains, emotional instability, depressive thoughts, usually of the gloomiest and most painful kind, even in some cases hallucinations and incipient delusions. These symptoms make for some of the victims a veritable hell. Also, one of the most famous psychologists, Sigmund Freud, made a statement. He proposed a stress theory called war neurosis. His theory states, the old ego protects itself from the danger to life by flight into the traumatic neurosis in defending itself against the new ego, which it recognizes as threatening its life. To put this in normal English, the person you was before the war tries to defend itself against the person you've become. Now we know a little more about PTSD, let's talk about a feud. No healthy person wants to kill another person. This is even true in the animal kingdom. Even though a rattlesnake will kill a human without hesitation, it will try to avoid to kill another rattlesnake. This was also the case in the First World War. It was thought that around 80% of the soldiers fired their weapons in the air above the enemy's head, instead of directly at them. In the game it's easy to kill people. You just pull the trigger and then move on happily ever after. But to actually kill someone is mentally taxing. And after they did the deed, it will leave the soldiers physically ill and haunted by nightmares for the rest of their lives. However, killing someone from afar gives a small mental impact than killing someone up close, which was the case for a lot of soldiers during the trench war. But in the trenches, people were up close. You'd see the face, you'd look them in the eye before killing them. Veterans reported the most nightmares they have include the faces of the people they've killed. That's why a lot of soldiers wear headwear in the war, to dehumanize the individual. But either way, having to run into someone with your bayonet is traumatizing for most. Besides that, there is a class where you can literally burn people alive. Not only is it this terrifying thought, it is also a terrifying reality. People actually burn others. People have seen their friends burned to death. And even though it's the hottest trend in Battlefield, it surely is traumatizing for everyone involved. But this diet time wasn't just traumatizing for soldiers. Nurses had to deal with it a lot too. During the First World War, nurses had to care over wounded soldiers. Some of these soldiers had horrific wounds. Imagine having burned soldiers laying in front of you, with their skin molten off. Yeah, not a great thing to imagine. But that was the daily life of nurses during the war. In other cases, legs or arms had to be amputated. Besides this, also nurses suffered from shell shock, but they were so close to the battlefield as well. However, since women weren't as accepted as men yet, women weren't considered manly enough to be able to suffer from these symptoms. And if they did, they were sent to a local asylum. Because of this, a lot of nurses tried to hide their symptoms, and since they didn't get any treatment, it only got worse. And with most cases, it would last a lifetime. So, is the Battlefield a fun game or a traumatizing experience? Probably just a fun game, but it's interesting to think about how we entertain ourselves. Was I living in hell back then? But just so you know, I'm just an amateur. Thanks for watching.